Let's go. Water. Water. What it does, what is poppin', what is crackin' lackin', everybody. My name is Uncle C.
My name is Nostalgia.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Uncle Dan. Sorry, Sid.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
I couldn't top that. I couldn't top the vocals.
Yes, honestly,
the vocals were bits.
I didn't
What
even
can I do?
know that.
There was no
happened.
way for you to
Sorry.
win that.
That was
There
ridiculous.
was no way. It's okay.
Welcome to episode 125 Bad Habits Podcast. We in the building. What's going on, fellas? Everyone bless. Everyone bless us.
Naz is out here.
Hot weather, isn't it? Very hot
and
weather.
sunny, as you can see. Got the old sunshine on the
Oh, just
side here.
sizzling
I
you.
should really be like full nude and getting my tits out, but I don't think the kids will enjoy that, mate.
Well,
You can do that, and then we'll just upload it to our paid.
Our viewers now. Like,
it's our OnlyFans
We'll upload it to
Patreon.
it's our paid.
okay,
Patreon,
so that's the extra content you have to pay for. My nipples. That's pretty
Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah.
Look, we could all just get it off, mate. I didn't give a fuck at this
No,
point.
I mean, free the nipple, am I right?
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
alright.
You're
Yeah.
all right? Yeah, you're going to do it, Dan. Don't worry. You always get nude.
Well, yeah, I do. When I'm with you,
Yeah, honestly, you do. Every time I see him, like, oh, Dan's nude again. All right, sweet.
Oh, look at that.
it's just normal now. Just normal.
Yeah, it's not weird to me at all.
I
Fuck,
know,
man.
I can tell.
It's we're recording now. It's we're balls deep in June. We out here. We're like just about 2.5 weeks away from it officially being summer. The weather is mostly good. Had a few cracker of days, like fucking stinking hot. Man's get a little bit of a tan.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I hadn't felt it here obviously yet since last year, and compared to Florida, which we just had, it was completely different. I was dying. We met up on Wednesday last week at Rorschach for a work meeting, and we sat outside the whole time. And I was like, it's just fuck, man. It was just so hot. I was
It was
dying.
hot. It was like 33 on Wednesday or something. It was crazy. Right. I couldn't believe it. But I'm a fan. Just have to, enjoy it while it lasts.
For sure. No, that's
Enjoy
it.
while it lasts.
Even if you want to
Last of all.
complain because it's hot, you got to tell yourself, shut the fuck up.
You're an
It's
asshole
not
if you
going
do.
to be. Yeah. You can't help it because everyone wants to complain about the weather, right? It's like,
I mean, it's kind of like
built
inbred
in.
sort of fucking like English stuff. It's just in our
Just
like everyone
whinging.
talks about the weather. Like it's like Poms do it and Aussies do it. Like everybody whinges about weather. Canadians do it now.
What's
Commonwealth
what's
countries. Nothing else to do.
you have a
There's no real-
translation? You have a translation on POM.
I actually don't know what it is. Does it stand for
it's
something?
a term. Oh my god! You don't know why Aussies call English people Poms?
I've never heard of that.
It's to
Oh.
do with the Test cricket teams, and they just called them Poms.
And
I
what
think
do
there's
they
a-
actually
like,
call them? I'm looking it up to see if I can get a thing of it. They
what's
call
the
you
name of
guys
the English team?
the whinging Poms because you always whinge.
Oh.
Apparently in cricket, is a pun. Okay, is an Aussie expression used to refer to a person of British origin who constantly complains about things he has to face.
That's wow.
Interesting.
You
Interesting.
fucking. Why are the
What I'm-
English?
Wow, whinging Pom. I don't remember that being that. That's actually so.
I got it.
I introduced to just Pom by itself.
The most common explanation is that it's a reference to Australia's past as a convict colony. POM is supposedly a bastardized acronym meaning Prisoner of Mother England or Prisoner of Her Majesty.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
And
Wow.
yeah, it's basic. And I guess it was because like Australia and England have a big like historical rivalry for Test cricket, like Nosh was saying.
Yeah.
So it was like every time they got a bad call or something happened, they would complain. I didn't even know if that's true. It's definitely from all that, but that was what I'm just trying to see if it's oh okay.
Somebody asked me once, like, what does Pom mean? I'm like, fuck, I don't really know. And so, what is it? Prisoner of Mother England?
Mother England, yeah.
Fucked up.
Hang on. Prisoner of Mother, yeah, M. I don't know where the E
Prisoner
goes.
of Her Majesty sounds better.
But that's because that's POHM, which would
But I guess you don't, because it's a
Pome.
3-letter word. I guess you don't necessarily need to include the her.
exactly. I'm just trying to see if there's any more info on it, but that's basically what the
Yeah, whinging
the
Poms
deal.
for fuck's mistake.
A slightly racist but joking term used to describe people from the United Kingdom. And like, you know how on Urban Dictionary it's got like like they use it in a sentence type of thing.
Right.
There's one here, and it goes, "Pom, it's bleeding hot here in Australia," and then it goes, "Aussie, go back home, you whinging pom."
Wow.
That is so good.
Wow.
Well, actually, that's the one.
There you go. We're learning stuff. See, educational podcast. Maybe I'll change the category. We're just teaching cunt shit. That's all we fucking do here, mate.
That's what we fucking do.
God damn it. Dan, what's been cracking? What's the last week been like? Look at us. 2 weeks in a row? It's for the first time in a while.
I know.
Shit.
Crazy, eh?
Dedication.
What have I been doing? Work has been my life, and being outside because we're outside this summer, and
we aren't. That's the slight the motto. Sorry, the motto for the summer is "We outside." Yes,
we're outside, and Mel's mum came, so picked her up from the airport on Friday, which is cool. And
how's that been?
They're having like it's good, yeah, it's sick, it's nice. I've been chilling. I've had a great time, you know. Cool. And what else? What else happened? And there's no football. There was a cup final the other day, but I guess there's just nothing I can do now since there's no football. So
shit, it's just boring.
I'm just here, just life, just soaking in the.
Might as well just end it, bro.
Yeah, fuck. I know. Yeah, you're right. I
just watch the NBA instead, dog.
Oh, honestly, I have been. So I'm glad the NBA is there, and just enjoying the sun. That's been my life. Oh yeah, obviously supporting the Heat, of course.
Gang. Oh fucking
of course. I'll speak to someone. They said they reckon they'll get swept.
Was thinking about it too.
Well, there's a game. Game 2 is tonight. So they for people who don't know, the final is Celtics versus Heat. And game 1, I had a podcast. The problem, my life. I've got so many podcasts this week. It has to be fucking this week. And I'm hoping most of the games don't fall. But I was doing a BOS one the other night, and I just had the NBA app, and I was just kept like refreshing it because it had the score. Nice. So I was able to like keep an eye on that through the whole pod and just see. And I didn't bring it up on the show. I didn't know if this dude was into it or not. So I was like, I didn't be like just trying to see what's going on with sports, mate. You know. So they lost.
Kind of bloke, mate. Like if the kids didn't know, you're a sportsy kind of bloke.
Who's the only cunt here in a jersey? I'm just saying.
Very true.
That's true. Well, I'm wearing a sports hat. I'm wearing a baseball hat, and it's actually a really niche one. If you want to get into it,
I like that a lot. You can get into it if you want. It's your time. No, you.
So fun fact: the B stands for Bradenton Marauders, Bradenton, Florida, and Bradenton Marauders are the farm team for Pittsburgh Pirates, and this is an MILB hat, and it's fitted, and it's super rare, and I'm a mad cunt. And also, I got it because I wanted a different B to the Boston and the
Bruins one.
There's another
a B team?
Another classic blue hat with a dope ass B. Brooklyn Dodgers is what it is. Brooklyn Dodgers.
Like a throwback one.
Sick B. Yeah.
yeah. What?
So there you go.
Okay.
Cool. So we're sporting heavily right now.
It's all about the sports. So if Dan's wrapped up his week, Nosh, what's been cracking? What's news?
Fuck, mate. Since last week, I rode like 4 days in a row. Filmed a bunch of sick shit. Rode a bunch. Like I think I clocked over 100. You think it's like 113 Ks in the last week? Because
bad.
I don't know. It wasn't as many as the previous 2, but anyway, we were up over 100, and that's all right. Been mixing a couple songs. My buddy Johnny Ohm, an artist, is from Barrie, Ontario. Represent. He's a mad dog, and he's copped a bunch of beats over the last honestly year and a half, 2 years from me, and I've slowly been getting songs sent to me to mix and get really dialed up, and it's honestly sick. So I don't think it's a solid producer album. He's got bits and pieces from other people, but there's a few. There's a solid chunk of that album is mine. So yeah, it's his debut album that he's been making for a long time. So I've been carefully getting that together and making sure it's fucking firebomb. So yeah, a bit of mixing, bit of mountain biking, getting as much sun as I can possibly get, getting that D right on my face, pause, and having a good time.
Get that D all over
I love
face,
that. D on the face.
You know what I'm saying?
That's just what I aspire to get. I love it.
It's
Daily
all you
dose.
need. It's all you
That double
fucking
D.
need.
Double boss?
Beautiful.
You covered it. Fuck yeah. Yeah, the sun's been out in effect. I love that. Man's been out here. I'm trying to think what happened this way. It's been kind of
Hey, man,
like...
what have you been saying?
I'm trying to even think. We did the team
I
meeting.
saw you.
Yes,
Yeah,
on
that was
Wednesday
the
I
highlight
saw
of the week.
all of
I
us.
saw all of you. We all
Look
saw
at
each
that.
other and
Oh, I
hugged.
saw all of
Embraced.
you. Yeah,
We
we
did.
hugged.
Embraced.
We had a nice little hug. Went to Rorschach,
great.
nice little brewery. Trying to hit up a lot of we are going places this summer, motherfuckers. Like I'm keen for it. So yeah, Wednesday we went to Rorschach for a team meeting, which was great. They got all their food. The pizza was great. I know she.
What'd you order?
So we had it was a pizza.
They have funny flavors, which is why I haven't. I've never been there to eat for food. I grab beer a lot and go. But what I've seen on the Instagram, some of the flavors they choose to post are just like they're really out there, and it wouldn't.
I actually followed them today, and I saw they have their own separate pizza
Mm.
account as well.
They do. That's kind of cool.
They have a separate pizza.
Break it down. What's the menu like, guys?
So they have a lot of pizzas they're made. They have a wood-fired oven. So we got a pizza with pepperoni and candied jalapenos, which was money. It was fantastic.
It was really good.
Fantastic.
It was great. So me and Dan split that. Actually, Tiff didn't eat, so me and Dan split everything. So they had a bunch of pizzas. Some of them were more straightforward, but they had like jerk chicken ones and whatever. And some of them were a little more like experimental and fucking around, just like their beers. So I quite like that. Mm-hmm. They had a pretty fun menu of like burgers and sandwiches, which we didn't go into.
Really?
That's pretty straightforward. Like chicken, fried chicken sandwiches and all that. And then me and Dan, what else did we have, Dan? We had the karage chicken, which was really nice, like the Japanese.
Chicken. We had loaded pierogies.
That's what it was.
We had it was those three things. Right?
Those three things, yeah. And it was like that was a lot of food just between the two of us.
It was great. I really loved how doughy the pizza was. Like usually, I really like thin, super crunchy pizza. But if it's not going to be like that, I want it really, really doughy. It's like
what would you compare the dough to? Like what other places? Have you had Blondie's before?
Never Blondie's.
No.
Never Blondie's.
Have you had Maker's pizza?
No, I've only had pizza once since moving here.
Have you had Pico? Oh, okay, fair enough. Because those ones are all like that. That's what it sounds like, and that shit is fire. When they know that kind of like fluffy, but it's a bit crunchy, but it's mostly soft, but it's still cooked with the. Dude, that shit is fire.
And the sesame seeds around the edges, which
on
makes
the outside.
On the outside, I love the sesame seed crust. We bought dough and made it here, like just the dough that was already made, and then you kind of flatten it out and you do the little flicking thing, and we actually did that and sesame seeded up the crust and stuff.
Oh, the rim.
You gotta lube that rim up, buddy. You gotta just oil that bitch right on.
I kind of want to make my own pizza.
It was fun. We got it from that bread. You know when we moved in, we went to that place on Lock Street that has the bread and what's it called, bread and butter or something like that, Earth to Table, some like pizza joint. You remember when you see it? Whatever. No, she didn't go. Yeah, and they wouldn't let us sit on the patio. And then we just got takeout.
Yes.
That place. So they sell the dough. So we just bought the dough one time to test it out and see how we liked making the pizza, so we could customize it and shit. It's harder than you think doing the flicky thing, like because you gotta like knead it. Do you use a rolling pin? I think you use a rolling pin because you gotta like do it in a certain way.
A rolling pin. When we made our own pizza one time, but we didn't obviously buy any dough from anywhere. You
made the dough from scratch?
We made the dough because Malcolm baked, so we made the dough and we had a rolling pin to do the thing.
Yes, okay. So you do need the rolling. I couldn't remember.
So basically, but once Italian.
Italian Dan.
I am.
Oh, okay, no, that's a whole side topic.
Again.
So either way, that shit was fire. Like Rorschach was great, super vibe. And I had Matt linked. Shouts to Matty, who's the owner. He gave me a can of I don't want to go too much into beer stuff here. I know I always do. A smoothie sour stout that was like
the debauchery
bougie, and it was. Did you have it? Did you have that one?
I had it. I bought it. It was incredible.
It's so fucking good. Crazy. So basically, it's a base of a stout. Like you know how like all smoothies, the base is like a Berliner, and they would brew it high because when they go and put all the fruit in it, it dilutes it and then it brings the ABV down to like 5%. So
beer podcast.
Huh?
Beer
podcast. Yeah, I know. Okay. So it's a stout base, and this one was chocolate. Was it chocolate cherry? No, whatever. There was some red fruit. Call it raspberry, something like that.
It was cherry.
It was cherry in that one because I know that the debauchery, the higher ABV stout, was chocolate cherry. That's why. But
I
maybe
thought
it
that
was.
was the one. Wasn't that the one you're talking about? 'Cause I was
No,
talking
it's
about that one.
another one.
Oh.
So that one's like 6.9%. This one was 5%. It's like heresy, like a smoothie sour. The other one was a stout, was a tart stout with just whatever cherry in it. This other shit was like it had the body of a smoothie. So it's like because at first I didn't know what they did, but really it's exactly the same as a smoothie sour. It's just the base is a stout. So then it's dark like a stout, and you add the red like the fruit. So the fruit leaves the lacing all around the glass, but it's a little like chocolate cherry around or what raspberry or whatever it was, because the dark malts from the stout go and probably dye the red fruit a little bit. Like it was fascinating, super interesting. So Rorschach was fun. I've been doing a lot of pods for BOS. We've been going a little ham on that shit. And then we've been trying to go to new places. Like I said, we outside this summer, try to go to new places at least once a week. So we went to a town called Elora on Friday, and we went to Elora Brewing Co. because we were friends with the owner. Have you been?
Yeah, just once.
It's fucking crazy. There's like one street, tiniest little town, probably like literally like hundreds of inhabitants, not even like thousands type of thing. Like it's small. There's like this big ass river with these two really nice bridges, and the town's all like built in the probably 1800s or quaint is the perfect word for it. Like red brick or like sandstone brick. Yeah. Everything cool, little local businesses, no chains except I think there was a Shoppers there aside from that and LCBO.
Oh, I bet people were pissed when that came in.
Well, they probably were, but also probably like fine. It's like tucked away in the side street, so it's not on the main street. But it was super cool. We walked around. There's this one part that looked exactly like Quebec City or Old Port Montreal. Like it was all like old, super old buildings and shit. Like super beautiful. Like there was a distillery, so we went to the distillery. They did cocktail flights. So instead of getting a cocktail, they give you a little thing, and you get 3 different cocktails, and then they probably made, I want to say, like 20 different spirits, like like Bailey style stuff, like strawberry cream or like the vanilla cream ones, and rum and whiskey and 5 different types of gin and vodka and rye and blah blah blah. So they had like when you got the cocktail, they gave you like this little shot of like, I don't know, call it like a quarter of a shot on top, so you can taste the liquor, which is good for sales if you think about it from them. So you're tasting it, and then whatever's left, you can pour that into the cocktail and make it stronger, or you just sip that on the side, which was super fun. That was fire. Cool. And then went to the brewery. The brewery was fantastic. I've been a fan of them for a while. Food was great. That was the other thing. That day was also like 31 or some shit. I just remember being like dying.
I had fuck on the patio, eh?
Just, bro. I wasn't even like, I didn't eat
that
that
good
much.
Crispies, but
yeah, I had the crispy. I had crispy and like some haze. But they had like a fried chicken sandwich, which was fantastic. But I was just remember
you gotta have a fried chicken, mate.
Mate, you gotta fucking shove that down your throat, mate. It's fucking beauty.
Straight down it.
Bloody ripper. But that was the most exciting shit about my week. That was fun. Just going somewhere new. Wasn't too far from here. Saw some
it's beautiful, mate.
Baller ass houses on the way because it's near Guelph. So like I'd never been there. Well, exactly, but as soon as you like leave Elora, like you leave the main street and it's farmland. And then as you're going towards Guelph again, I guess it's like the suburbs of Guelph, I would probably say. And they're like, because you go through them through these like country roads, and they're just like these fucking huge modern houses. Like there actually was a street called Bridle Path, which is where Drake lives in Toronto. Hilarious. So we pulled up and went through it. And just because we were like, let's just fucking take a quick drive, because we love looking at the baller houses for manifestation purposes. And just wicked, man. Because like I get it, because like this was about, say, call it 40 minutes from Hamilton. It's probably like 10 minutes from Guelph, an hour plus to Toronto. So I'm like, if you're going to want to live kind of in the middle of nowhere ish, like with these huge ass property and huge ass land, then I can understand why you would go there, because it's a little bit of a hike from everything, but you've got the ton of space. And there were like streets that had like residential streets with like no empty blocks, so there was like plenty of space, but they were all together in like a community thing, as opposed to like one house on this fucking 100-acre farm type thing. It was very cool. That was fun, just seeing someone new.
Interesting. Countryside.
Oh, countryside. And the most important, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? So the Yeezys went up for sale on, I think yes, I think it was Monday or something like that.
No, it was Tuesday, I think. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday.
It was Tuesday. And and the draws were mostly Wednesday. So I got these bad boys. I got the these are called the Carbon Belugas. Is that what
Ooh,
it is?
swaggy
Beautiful.
orange.
Yeah, so it's like similar to the zebras and the blue tints there for those who know what's up. I got, the mother shits. Oh, the blue tints are upstairs. But yeah, they're pretty intense with the orange. But this is like a darker gray. The OG ones have a lighter
It's like
gray.
hunting orange.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So I don't have too many things I can wear with this. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But yeah,
Get to buy some
this
shit with orange on it then, dog. Maybe a
Gonna
t-shirt with
fucking
a
have to.
splash.
yeah, I got the one I actually have on now, the Mr. Banks T-shirt from Australia's got some orange on it. So I'll be
Oh,
rocking
that could go for sure.
fucking know it. So
Sorry.
that was lit. I also
Love that.
Match.
I put in for a couple. So I got the dub on them. I put in for
Mm-hmm.
they had the 500s in black, like the low. I got the where are they? Oh, they're upstairs. I got the highs, but I wanted the lows, so I took a L on that, unfortunately. But I got a pair of the Onyx for Tiff. She got hers, which were the all black 350s. And I got the
Beautiful.
slides for Tiff's mother. So now Tiff's mum has Yeezys, and she
Some
is excited
dripping,
to be dripping.
That is beautiful. I love that.
So literally, the
That
only
is
person in the
incredible.
Canadian squad without Yeezys right now is Uncle Notion. So we're going to have to fix that at some point.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe.
Like, I go
Start
fund me.
GoFundMe, innit?
These Under Armour slides are almost had their day, so we'll see what happens.
It's about to be time for
time.
Nosh to get them Yeezy slides.
It is
Gonna have to get a
time.
couple, 1-2 slitties on me.
Might have to hit that StockX, mate. Get them for fucking vouchers for your birthday.
Mhm.
Let's go. The big one
man.
for you this year, mate. Oh fuck.
Oh,
Oh, the
I
big
have to
six.
figure out something to do, man. Like I want to have like just I want to have a big dinner with like cunts. I want to actually do something for
Yeah.
my birthday because I never do.
This is the one I would have. Mine was deep in the pandemic. Otherwise, I don't like birthday things either. But what milestones are really once every
I feel like I
decade.
need to
so-
have like something because I don't do nothing much.
No,
Like,
do
last
it, and
year I had a
everyone's here
small
now.
thing, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
man.
Like want to have cunts.
Did you do something last year? Or you didn't.
Yeah, we did something last year. You came.
Tell me. Oh, we did. That was
Bar hop.
fun. At Bar Hop. That was a really fun night. That was great.
Yeah,
Dan
that
was
was-
still in
that was
Montreal for that, but
super quaint.
I really enjoyed that one. So we could do like
Sure.
a more formal dinner or something.
Yeah.
More, like somewhere nice.
Suit and tie.
Ooh.
I want to get dripped up, draped out. I want to like show cunts.
All
like,
white party. Suit
wanna
and
show
tie.
white,
All
like,
white.
you know,
Let's do it.
No dog got his sexy back, or still had it, never lost it. That's
Never
what it is.
lost
Never lost it. Never
yeah,
Yeah,
lost
so
it.
like,
I can confirm.
basically, like my suit pants have to have a custom part where my cock's like out all the whole time, so cunts says, no, I never lost it. My cock's
Never.
like just
They
right
just see
there,
it.
just
Even
swinging.
flaccid. She's
Yeah, we're
sitting
walking
Mhm.
through and bobbing in its head and fucking hair going, like sunglasses on,
Let's go.
Yeah,
I
That'd
that's
be
see it.
sick. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh,
We'll,
November.
we'll,
it's a-
we'll slowly plan it, but like if anyone in the podcast land or the YouTube land has any ideas, drop it in the comments and I'll consider it. And then I might even invite you, mate.
in Toronto specifically.
In Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yeah, that's where we're trying.
Unless
Whose
you want
birthday's
to fuck
next?
around and go somewhere fun for it.
Tiff,
When's Tiff?
July. Oh no. Well, Tiff's mum is the 1st of July, and Tiff's the 19th.
You know what we should all do? We
Okay.
should all go mountain biking.
Oh, that's what we need to
I'm
do.
down. I'm down.
We should all go somewhere
there.
and like go to a bike park and hire bikes and just go on the green trail so no one dies.
And just fucking fang
Just
it.
I'm
fucking
down.
fang it
Let's do
with
it.
all the brakes on. Yes.
Or well, we could get scooters.
Nah, the cunts will die on
Ooh. No,
Yeah,
we
cunts
should
could
get
die,
scooters
so-
because my friend's coming.
cars,
We're gonna
no
do
cars,
the scooter rental, $50.
In Toronto? They have it
Toronto,
there?
yeah, we're gonna do it.
There's no cars.
Yeah.
We have to go on the bike path. Oh, I'm not doing it.
Well, no,
I'm
you
going
can,
on.
you'd only
I'm
do
going
it
on the
like...
highway, man. Fuck it.
Honestly,
Catch me
DVP,
there.
let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
DVP.
do it.
Far left lane. Fucking suck it.
I'll do the DVP.
Fucking
I
hell.
won't do Queen Street because they're all cunts and no one can drive.
Yeah,
no
no,
one
you'd
looks out
only
for
do
nothing.
it when you're going like like in Hamilton. There's like the Bayfront Park, so it's like there's no.
Yeah.
You get it, and then you're just on a walking path. Like it's in a park already.
Yeah, that's it.
With it,
Fang it on
and you
that.
can just fucking cruise around there. You're looking at the geese and ducks and just
Yeah,
water.
Ashbridges Bay, the beach
Yeah.
down here. Let's go.
and shit like that. Yeah, that would be fun on those beach paths where there's just cunts walking. You can just like cruise.
Okay, just cunts, no cars.
Yeah, cunts, no cars.
Yeah.
Yep, So that's what's happened this summer. All right, so we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm trying to think. Should I just go in order?
Just
Just-
dive, mate.
Go
Okay.
and dive in the head
I'm
first.
diving in, just balls deep again. Balls deep.
Balls
So
deep.
This
Yeah,
was
who would know?
actually a few weeks ago, and I don't know why we skipped over it last week. I think I just missed it. So, Scottie Pippen, as we know, isn't the largest fan of Michael Jordan. He said as much. I don't know if he was in the Last Dance doco, but I read his book, which was fantastic, and he was shitting on MJ a lot. You know, he's apparently the biggest cunt in the game. I mean, I guess you don't get to be excellent without being a cunt, it seems. And Michael's son is dating Scottie's ex now, which is pretty intense and very calculated move. So Scottie said that LeBron is better than Jordan, and he bust out a whole bunch of stats around that. I don't know if we should try and pull up those stats. I should have had that ready. I was definitely fucking up by not having that prepared. But do you guys remember that? I'm going to find it in our chat real quick. Do you guys remember that post?
Yeah, I remember it. I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
find. There's a thing here. Here we go. Key
Yeah, boom.
stats.
Yes, bust that
Regular
out.
season stats. Key stats. Here we go. Michael Jordan versus LeBron.
Okay.
So points per game. Jordan's higher, 30 to 27. Rebounds, LeBron's higher, 7.5 to 6.2. Assists, LeBron's higher, 7.3 to 5.3. Steals, Jordan's higher, 2.3 to 1.5. Blocks, they're the same, 0.8. Turnovers, LeBron's had more. Minutes played, so both average about 38 minutes. Field goal percentage, 49.7 is Jordan, and LeBron is 50.5.
Whoa.
3-point percentage is 32.7 for Jordan and 34.5 for LeBron.
Interesting.
And free throw, Jordan is way better. It's 10% higher. So 83.5 versus 73.5.
Interesting. Wow.
So it's interesting. And we've got like
John
totals
Chubb
as well. LeBron's played 400 more games. He also has 6,000 more
400?
points.
Damn.
Yeah, 6,000 more points though.
So he's had more time. Okay.
Of course,
He's had more time, but the stats are like overwhelmingly higher. I don't know if that would mean if because of the extra 400, it's obvious, but it's kind of like overwhelmingly higher. So it's like points is literally 38k versus 32k, and like rebounds is 10k versus 6k, assists
Gotcha.
10k versus 5k.
Right.
They've got similar steals.
400 games.
LeBron's got more blocks. Yeah, it is a lot of games.
I got this other one here from our chat, and this is stats, and I've seen the opposite stats to this, so I don't have those right here, but this is Jordan without Pippen. So obviously they played
that's
together.
what I've seen. That's actually good.
This is the one. So I saw the other way around, and there's a fair argument for the other side. Jordan without Pippen had 0 championships, 0 finals, 0 finals MVPs, 5 losing seasons, 0 winning seasons, 154 to 170 combined losing record, never got out the first round, 1 to 9 combined losing playoff record, and missed the playoffs twice with the Wizards.
That's insane.
Scottie probably also has a similar-ish stat without Jordan. I don't know if he did anything crazy without him either.
It was a chemistry thing,
right, but it seemed fair, exactly. But it seems like, and Scottie was undervalued for his contribution to that partnership. Yeah, and then if you look at LeBron, he played for Cleveland, Miami, and LA. I think that's it, and he's been able to win championships with all 3 teams with different teammates, which shows that he's the common denominator, and he hasn't always had to have. He's had particularly in Miami when they had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, right? That's right. Yeah. So that was like the fucking triple threat type of thing, and they were killing it together. But he was able to do it with different cats in Cleveland and different cats in LA. So it's, I don't know, man. I used to always think that cunts were just boosting about LeBron being better than Jordan. I just thought it was like, it's just not even the same. But
the numbers don't lie now. I mean, like there was, I think that the argument cunts would make is like, the impact. Like motherfuckers are still gagging over Jordans. No one's wearing LeBrons. Like as far as the
did
shoes.
you see that video? Someone said that.
Danny Brown.
Danny Brown. You said that, right?
I think I did to the chatty. Yeah.
Yes. So Danny Brown had a clip, and I've seen that clip before.
Oh yeah, that's an old
It's an old clip.
podcast interview. He's actually a really funny cunt. Danny Brown, when he gets into it, he's really like raw and fair, and he's just like thinking, "Fuck,
You know why he's doing a podcast?
no,
Because Rogan busted his balls and told him to do it when he was on Rogan.
really."
Rogan
That's
makes
sick.
everybody do podcasts, and he actually did, which was sick.
Honestly, why not?
Same
'Cause,
as
like, Danny Brown's a funny cunt. His voice is so unique, and like when he gets yelling, it's really funny. So the clips
yes.
I've seen from him, I probably should tune in and watch a couple
I
episodes. But
should
yeah,
too,
he's
actually.
a funny cunt for sure.
Yeah, he's quite thoughtful for a bit of a wild cunt. He's like a wild cunt who actually has some good takes. But yeah, he was saying he's like if the new, and he was talking about new rap. Actually, this is even a better kind of tie-in.
Yeah, like young people and the old people's.
You can explain it. You saw it.
Oh, we're just saying. Well,
He said, I think he was saying not everything new is better than the old stuff. Because he's like, if everything new was better than old, then everyone would be wearing LeBrons. And people aren't wearing LeBrons. Everybody wears Jordans, including probably LeBron.
And then he said, I put this forward to the young artists, like, make a better rap album than Cuban Links. Make a better rap album than Reasonable Doubt. And then we can talk about these motherfuckers, like, you know.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a bit of a loaded comment, obviously, because there's different. But he's a newer artist. So to me, even though like he's probably, late 2000s? Like he was blog era type things, or mid to like 06.
He's an old head, though. So the angle he's coming from is like, you know.
He's like our age, but
that shit,
he went through all of that stuff. So he grew up listening to the same shit we did. And it's pretty obvious, I think, because I don't want to get too far off the basketball thing, I guess, but music became, we talked about this too, music and all entertainment became content. And as soon as it became content and people and everybody had the ability to, one, put something out, because there's methods to put it out, whether it's SoundCloud, YouTube, distribution channels to get on Spotify, blah, blah, blah. And also it became cheaper and easier to make the stuff with software and cheap microphones to do the trick, and something like even Lander for mixing and mastering if you don't even want to pay a human to do this shit. There's just more stuff and people are just pumping shit out, and it's sort of like the thought hasn't gone into it because there's not as much at stake to make the product anymore.
Word.
When it's like entertainment. So I think that's probably part of it. Whereas before, there was so much that went into it. It was a whole fucking thing. Hence why nothing really new in almost all genres. There's some great music. I don't want to take away from that at all. But it doesn't hit the same. And I don't know. And even Dan, you said it. This to even, obviously, Notion and I are very biased. But you as a 25-year-old who grew up with kind of a bit of everything, you said the other day, you were like, I don't know if you said it on the pod, if you said it to us, but you were like, nothing is the same. Like you can't say the shit is, no one raps as good as these dudes back then, or the albums. It's just not the same. What you said, something along those lines. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, probably. I said it quite a few times, I think. But no, there's no good music. Let's be honest. Good music is very few and far between. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's hard to find good music most of the time.
Rare to get a classic to drop.
Classic is the key thing. There is some
hard.
Good music, there's some great music, but there's a lot of below average music or average music that gets the attention boost
the clout,
the machine behind it.
There you
half
go.
The time,
because that's just what they're going for, because labels aren't signing people based on skills or quality of their music. They're signing people based on how many followers they have, which a business decision. I understand it, but inherently that method is devaluing music. And it's making everything sort of suck. So even if you come back to basketball, I always was thinking, well, it's like not the same. Like there was a pulpability of like what it meant to watch a game and Michael Jordan was playing. Obviously now you're looking at these numbers, you're like, well, when Scottie's there, things went a lot better, and he was always the secondary, so he never got the props as much. But yeah, it was interesting because if you're actually looking at the numbers, which I think is there's two different sides. So it was the same as like the GOAT, who's the best rapper of all time convo. Like there's the culture. Like Michael impacted the culture stronger than anybody else, because he's like, you could say the shoes alone and the clothing, the fashion side. What was like, it hasn't been anything really bigger than Jordan's ever. And when did the first one came out in the 80s?
Yep.
Like probably close pushing 40 years of Jordans. That's fucking
86
great.
or
Was it?
Check. I have to Google that shit. 1 sec.
Yeah. So then either way, like that's pretty crazy. I just don't think anyone had impacted that stuff. So there's the cultural side, and obviously everyone's copying him with the tongue out and the fucking the crazy shit that he always does. And then you
85.
85. So
April 1st, 85.
So in 2 years, it says 38 years right now of Jordans. I mean, that's, and arguably, I don't think anything's even come close. I mean, bias-wise, I would probably say Yeezys would be trumping it occasionally in popularity to a small degree, but I think the market share must be like weighted so heavily in Jordan's favor that, and nothing really.
Real.
Yeezy was probably the closest thing that could have but not as an overall. Like grandma knows what Jordans are, but she probably doesn't know what Yeezys are, type of thing.
True.
Like that's the way how much it's like a fucking household name. So there's that side. Then you can look at the numbers. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously Dan read them all out. Like it's pretty obvious that LeBron is king, but he's got 400 more games. How many games in a season? It's like 82 or something. So like if that's how many 400, but that's probably like 5 years, maybe. Yeah, about 5 years more he's played than Jordan has played. So he has had a little more time.
The per game stats trump it though.
There you go.
That kind of like negates that. That's the thing. The per game thing kind of just makes it seem like they're on a level playing field now.
Gotcha.
Like,
if you break it
the
down,
only
to
thing,
Right.
the only thing
That's fair.
the per game stat would affect is LeBron's stats, and it'll make his look worse, and it'll make Jordan's look better.
because
if he had more time, you can only
divide
decline.
it by.
That's
You're right.
literally it, yeah. So
that's
that.
more
Plus,
impressive.
When I speak about sports related stuff, I never speak about impact, because I feel like impact is relevant in a different discussion. Like I don't care about what like Ronaldo's more of a household name than Messi, but I don't think I do not think that Ronaldo can do anything to the level Messi can. But I think they are both the greatest players of all time, and there's always going to be a debate. But for me, it's just about stats, trophies, individual accolades over anything they've done outside of football. That's my thing. Like I would never think, who's better, LeBron or Jordan? Then if someone said, but Jordan released Jordans, I'll be like, okay, but has he got higher points per game? Has he got higher assists? Like shit like that.
It's a stat thing.
I think that's completely fair. That's completely fair.
I think stats more. It's like an objective thing. You can have a preference.
That's true.
Of who you like stylistically. Same with the Ronaldo Messi thing. You can have a preference stylistically, but like the stats are always going to be there, and it's like, stats don't lie. It's objective.
When you put it like that, what that makes me think of is that like if you want to compare it to the music convo, I think you're 100% right with sports, because sports is like who won, and typically if you win more and you score more, objectively you are better at your job than people who didn't score or win as much as you. In music, you could look at sales numbers, chart numbers, awards, etc. But that doesn't mean shit, because
it doesn't equate to quality at all.
It doesn't equate to quality, and that's
or influence.
The difference. Or influence, or any of that stuff, and all of those other things that technically, if you say who's a better rapper, I'm like, well, Jay-Z made everyone brush dirt off his shoulder.
On what criteria? Yeah, you need to.
But I think if you're going to discuss, it's on what criteria, because then you can say who's the best on sales numbers. Well, then there's no discussion. It's not a discussion. It's just like who sold the most. But then it's not who's the best. It's who sold the most.
Who sold the most? The Eminem show, 27 million. I wouldn't say Eminem's
is that the best rap album? No, like I don't think he is, and that's why I think the cultural side in music is significantly more important now with this context than in sport.
It's very interesting, actually. When I'm looking at this, who sold the most, the top two are Eminem, and then the two behind Eminem, one's Fugees and the other's Lauryn Hill. So kind of like two Lauryn Hill and two Eminem, top two, which is very interesting. I didn't know that.
So I mean,
not know that.
And Lauren's only put out she did one other Fugees album, and then the solo album. She did the second solo album, which was a double CD live, the MTV one where she just played the guitar and everyone thought she was crazy. But that in hindsight became more of a classic than it was at the time because she just came out with Miseducation. Then she comes here doing this solo set, just her playing a guitar kind of clumsily and singing these songs with weird names and stuff in it. Like it didn't make any sense. But now, like, Kanye sampled this shit. Method Man sampled for one of the tracks, which I used as a mixtape one, which was a banger. It's just it's interesting how that changed in like over time. I guess 20 years plus, something like that. It must be by now. Interesting. But anyway, that's a whole deeper thing. So that's a LeBron Jordan thing. Now, moving on to some other shit, and this is disappointing, y'all. This is disappointing. I didn't want to see it. This is something that's a personal preference to me, and whenever I see this, I'm not here for it. Drake painted his nails. He painted his fucking nails. Do I have a boo? I don't think I have a boo. I don't think I have a boo at all. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Do I fucking know you cunt?
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That fits.
Because I don't know him.
That's a good one.
So apparently Drake, there was a picture that we saw today, and he had like yellow nail polish, like full shit, and everyone's saying that maybe he did it because he's been hanging out with Lil Yachty, who does all that shit.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, it seems the most.
I think that is the case. But it's so funny because
maybe just trying a thing. Maybe he's trolling.
Grand Wizard's
maybe.
Grand Wizard's post about it is so funny because he just loves Drake, and it's just like,
so it's all positive.
Let me go to the. Yeah, it's all positive. It's
and
so
all the
funny.
comments were funny because they were like, if this was anyone else, you'd say he's poisoning the kids and blah blah blah. Because it's Drake, you're like, yes, new Drake era come in. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
It's
officially started a new Drake era. It's so funny.
So it's like, yeah, go on.
Everyone who was getting their nails painted, beating allegations after Drake, after seeing Drake remove the stigma around nail art. And then me thinking about all the ways I'm gonna match my fit with my nails. It's so good.
Like, I don't think that Drake did remove any stigma around dudes getting their nails done. Because
I think he's trolling. It's just funny though.
It's definitely funny. Like, if man's want to
there's
do
enough
it,
dudes that do their fucking nails. Like, I know lots of BMX dudes, skater dudes, punk rockers, metal cunts. They've been doing their nails.
They've been doing it for like decades.
Yeah,
but doing their nails.
But I'm saying, like, there's like cunts just around doing it, and they're like, I have a problem with I just don't, guys doing their nails, and it's not anything about like LGBT stuff. I don't associate it with sexuality. I just think it's like a stylistic thing because punks did it, emos do it, metal cunts been doing it. I just think it's even when they do it, I just think it's so gross. I have a what's the like a phobia, I guess you call it, like
yuck
dudes
nails?
Yuck nail, gross fingers like with messed up nails or like chipped nail polish. It literally brings me to retching. I've never physically vomited, but I feel like vomiting.
I remember when you told me about the chip nail polish when cunts don't have their I
can't really stand it. I one time I posted it on Facebook and then everyone just posted a bunch of pictures of chip nail polish. Didn't do that again.
Hilarious.
But like
so
Drake,
good.
I just don't want to see it. I don't know why. And it's like people can express themselves how they want, but it makes me uncomfortable because of my weird phobia. I think mostly. Otherwise, like I don't care. Do what you got to do. If you feel good doing it, like do it. But I'm like Drake doing it is going to have. I'm gonna have to see more people
influx
do it
of
now.
motherfuckers. Like the nail ladies down on the strip mall are gonna be busy as fuck.
If Drake does it,
you
know DJ Khaled video. He goes, "I like what Drake likes."
That's why everyone was
that should be a
posting
meme.
that. People were commenting that on the post. So it's I don't know. I'm just not a fan, man. Like people will probably take that the wrong way, pause, but we say pause on this show, so whatever.
It's not for me.
It's just not. Yeah, I don't think it's for us. It's not out. None of us would ever do anything like that, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So thanks, Drake.
But since Drake's done it, so you never know. You might catch me soon.
Next episode, I might fuck around and just piss you off.
If you guys did that, if you actually did it, honestly, I'd appreciate the lols. I would enjoy it because you know how much it would. I would still feel the same, but I would think that is highly hilarious. So, you know,
I mean,
if that's how you want to express yourself, guys, I'm with it. Okay.
Express yourself.
Hey. So, all right. So there's that. Now the Jamie Foxx thing. I think did we talk about it last time? I think we did, right?
I think we did.
So the update is that okay. What I'm trying to now. I'm actually about to say it. When we said the thing? So tell me if I'm correct on this. I want to make sure I'm not getting this wrong. So I've heard that the update is that he's fucked up. They were saying that he's not, but he actually is, and they were trying to show that he's not, to not get people concerned.
Just with that, I'm just gonna wait until he comes out and says something, because it's like one person says he's fine, one person says he's not fine at all, and it's just like, as opposed to thinking or being extremely,
What would there be? Either
to
or.
one opinion. Yeah. I'm just gonna wait
It
until
has to be wrong.
it's confirmed what happens, because I understand there's some legal things where it comes down to, I think, celebrity patients in when it comes to like surgeries and shit like that.
Okay.
And like I understand apparently hospitals can't disclose certain. They have to disclose certain information. Sorry, so they have to. We just have to wait. And I think it's like, I'd rather not assume and then think, oh, he's fine, or he's like absolutely not fine. Then yeah, something will come out. It will be confirmed, but we just have to wait. I think it's rumor mill. It's just rumors. Just no one knows.
Okay. So then I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, there was some people saying both sides. So
yeah, it's just both sides.
Either way, though.
I hope he's alright. I love Jay Fox. He's a G.
Of course, man. Absolute fucking one of a kind, man.
Yeah, that would be devastating if anything happened to him. I think that would.
He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope so too.
Fingers
I like
crossed.
that. Fingers crossed. Sending love, positive energy to
Always.
Mr. Fox. Now, next up, Baby Keem and Kendrick dropped a video, like a new song, and then a video to that song, but the song isn't available on streaming or anything. It's just on YouTube.
Very weird.
Talk to us about that one. Yeah, I don't know. Explain it, because the shit is weird.
So yeah, let me go on Rap Genius. It's called the Hillbillies, right?
Yes, and they use the flow of Drake's Sticky, like mimic the flow. So obviously that was an intentional.
I'm hearing it could be a diss.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, they always diss each other like subs.
I'm hearing it could be a diss, yeah, and but yeah, it's interesting. I'm reading
Kendrick's
the Rap
pretty
Genius.
calculated.
Yeah, 100%. Says the cousins rap about designer clothes, women, and their fame with an upbeat Jersey club inspired sample of Bon. I don't know who's Bon Iver. Bon Iver.
Bon
I
Iver.
don't know who that is.
It's like a band.
PDLIF.
Okay.
That's the sample. But yeah,
okay.
The song's growing on me. I actually really don't mind the song. I think it's a fun song. It's super fun just listen, because it's like they're going back to back, and I think listening to them back to back is pretty sick. The instrumental, I think, is actually pretty shit.
Yeah.
But I think the video
trash.
is super cool, though. The beat is trash. The bars are fine. It's actually a fun song. It's a good song, but the beat is awful. The video is sick, though.
It sounds like the fucking song hasn't been mastered. That's what it sounds like to me.
I feel like there's been a few things like that lately, right? Like
you hear that Drake song next to it, and it's like, oh shit. That sounds like
the Drake song sounds like a complete version of it.
Yeah,
a completed version, exactly right. Sounds like a final mix / a master of the thing. It's just lacking. So sounds thin.
Whoa, yeah. It's a strange choice that they even did the song, let alone make a video and put it out, and then not put the song anywhere. So I don't know. Kendrick's been like on his avant-garde shit for the last little bit, and I don't know. I wonder how long he will be able to retain the like the top three. Drake, Cole, and Kendrick.
He's not in the top three. I'm sorry, he's not.
Yeah, I don't really think so either.
Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Just get out. Get goodbye.
Get out of it.
Get him out of there, man.
Seems like a lovely young man, but
very small. It's cool. I like how they're referring to themselves as Messi and Neymar. Though. It's quite funny.
They call themselves
Messi and Neymar. Kendrick's referring to himself as Messi because he thinks he's the GOAT, of course. So.
Okay. And what's the second word you said?
Neymar. He's Messi's teammate. Both played together at Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain. One of the greatest players of all time as well. So he's like the next Messi kind of thing. That's what Baby Keem's referring to.
Right. Hence that. Okay. Nice little sports reference for the man, then.
Yeah. It's cool. Okay. I actually think the song's good. I actually like it. It's growing on me a lot.
Okay. One of those ones you got to kind of like vibe out over a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Nice. Well, definitely go check that out if y'all are into those cunts. So a little bit of a left turn on this one. So Dan and I think we talked about it last week that we are into trash reality TV, and our favorite show, the most fucked up one right now, is called The Ultimatum.
Greatest one of all
queer.
time.
Yeah, it's the most fucked up show of all time, and it's so mean. And
So
we were
good.
just wanted to touch on it wasn't so much about the show than about a concept. And Dan mentioned it. So basically, this particular one, just real quick, it basically couples come together. This one's all queer, so it's all women, and there's like I think it's 5 or 6 couples. The idea is that they all like date each other, and then you pick a wife, and then you live together for 3 weeks, and then you go and live back with your original partner, and then you see who you want to marry. All of these shows are centered around marriage, which I always still find weird because no one really gives a fuck about marriage anymore, but whatever.
It shouldn't be a thing, but yeah.
Exactly. But I guess
It's not even that deep.
they need a goal for these shows. So
Yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah.
They seem to be like pushing it as like a traditional thing. Whatever. I don't know what the deal is. But what we noticed, so there's this one chick on there, an Australian chick, Asian girl called Aussie, and she referred to friends in Australia calling her by her dead name, and I thought dead name was only for trans people, so I'm confused already about that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's not even what the point is. I'm just trying to describe the lady. So this woman has clearly had a lot of problems. She's arguably the most crazy person on there. Anytime there's any confrontation, she literally gets her stuff and leaves. And
I've never seen anything like this before, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
this is like beyond. Remember Zay from season 1?
yes, he
And
always, yes.
He would leave all the time, but this is like beyond that. As in as soon as the conversation happens, it's okay. I'm literally not going to respond to anything you're saying. I'm just gonna nod my head and leave. And I'm
just
like, it's consistent. It's so consistent. I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
Soy.
So,
Sorry.
what this chick in this last episode I'm talking about now, because I imagine most people who watch or listen aren't even really, it's not really their jam anyway, but this was the greater commentary on this is about mental health on these shows. This lady obviously had a traumatic childhood. She was saying she wished she knew what it felt like to grow up in a happy home, and then when she had an argument with a girlfriend in front of a friend too, like at a restaurant or something. This was the fucked up shit, and this is when we were talking. I was like, "This is not fair for this girl. She's my age too. Like she's 42, so she's a grown woman, clearly like a fuck up, always making mistakes with things." And they were having the discussion in the restaurant, and they always like meet up with a friend or something, and then that's usually the format of all of these shows. And then they started arguing, and she didn't want to hear it, and then she just left and went and sat outside, and she's crying, and the friend comes up, and she's like, my whole life my parents always accused me of doing things, and I didn't do it. And she just broke down into this thing. I didn't do it, and just kept like comment. And I was like, oh my god,
this is on the street, by the way, in like a car park, like a public side road, like just
sitting on the curb. And I'm like, it was so sad. And I was like, this is recording someone's genuine trauma, that this show is capitalizing on the pain of people, the real life pain and fucking emotional manipulation, I guess, of going through all of these. You come in with someone's given an ultimatum, you have to get married, and then you go and you almost fall in love with someone else or try it, and then you got to go back again, and then everyone's telling you blah blah blah. And this woman obviously has some unresolved childhood shit that she should very much be in therapy for, but they're just putting it on the show, and they're including all of this fucking crazy breakdown and making her look like a nutcase. And I'm like, or even if it's not making it look like a nutcase and people listen and understand, because a lot of people would just point to be like, you're crazy, yeah, as opposed to like, fuck man, you've been through some shit. It just made me feel a little sick that I'm like, they shouldn't be, I feel like they're taking advantage of people to a point. Like, you didn't even see it, Brad, and I think you can see where I'm going with this.
I can't believe what you're fucking telling me, dude. I'm gonna explode in a minute.
Pause.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. So I don't know what you guys think, but all I was kind of posing the question was like, how far do we push? Because obviously all of these reality shows, particularly the dating ones, which seem to be the majority of them, they're centered around the emotional manipulation of the cast, and the different situations that they're put in, and the fact that like whenever she left, like you see her take her mic off and just throw the mic on the ground, and the cameras are like following her as she's doing her thing, and maybe she might yell at them and tell them to fuck off, and then you see the shot from afar and you're watching her walk from a distance, because I imagine that's probably what happened. But like, how far should these shows be pushing people? I mean, I know you sign up for it. If you sign up for it, cool, but like, how long is it going to be until they get pushed and then someone's going to get killed? Literally, they might go fucking so crazy because they've got such deep trauma that they'll flip the fuck out and then go and kill someone on camera or whatever. So I feel like it's putting people in danger, both the person with the trauma and the fucking fellow cast members. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that shit. Crazy.
Baby D?
Notion. Go on.
Is
I
it,
know
well,
you have a lot to say.
Dan mentioned it, just to put it, Dan, you were the one who actually mentioned this, so I don't know if you had specific, and you've seen it. I don't know if that was my immediate thought. Was not like, this bitch is crazy. It was more, I felt so sad for her, and I was like, I think this is starting to make me uncomfortable now, because you get used to watching reality shows, but I'm like, this is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for her. Imagine her reliving it now and watching this show. Like,
I think she shouldn't be on the show.
No, she should.
I think she should have never applied, and she should not be on a show like this.
Fact.
Especially going through what she's been through, and clearly not ready to communicate to a level where her partner, who's also, by the way, really fucking cool. She's so cool.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be together. Full stop. Like, they just shouldn't be. And it's not even that the fact. It's not anything bad against any of them. It's just like, you're just not ready for this, let alone like ready to be on a show where this is publicly putting this out there. So I think the best thing for her would have been like, just leave the show, is what I think, because it's like, it's too much.
Maybe they force him to
Hmm?
stay. Maybe they force him to stay.
No, you can't be, not to that point. Because what are they gonna do? Kill her? Like, what? They're not gonna force her. They're not gonna make her stay. Like, I don't think anyway. I think it would be a bit mad. But like, there's always the option to leave, and I think that she should, personally, because it clearly shouldn't be. This shouldn't be on camera, you know.
Yeah. How do they pass psychological tests? Like, I feel like, wouldn't a psychologist pick this up and be like, this person shouldn't really be on this TV show, but it's probably the opposite. They're like, hey, this person's got some shit. They'll flip out and give us good TV. Let's get them in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably, to be fair.
I reckon
That
it's
is probably the case.
I've been listening to a bunch of content from old Love Is Blind people. Well, at least in like April I was, when it was still live and it was all fresh still. And a bunch of cast members from older seasons have come out and said that the producers kind of force them to do things like they go to Mexico, force them to stay in Mexico. And, you know, they were accusing them of not giving them food and water and like manipulating the situations so that they could, you know, get better stuff out of it. And just, it sounds kind of fucked up, and I kind of believe them. I don't know why they would come out now and start saying that if it wasn't true. So
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
it's kind of wild. So
Crazy shit.
It's super wild, man. So I don't know. I'd like to know what anyone else thinks. I've never seen anyone really talk about this as far as like mental health and reality shows. Not in depth.
It's a big thing in
anyway.
Love Island. I know that, and the mental health thing is a big thing in Love Island, but I don't know it in other reality shows.
Gotcha. Why is it a big one there? Is it because they take them away?
Because
somewhere?
No, because there was one guy who committed suicide after
The show.
After the show, not like immediately after, but it was like like a year down the line, and I think it was like, I don't know the ins and outs, but it was like adjusting to the new life, because Love Island, like, I don't know if it's not like these other shows. It's not like these other shows where some people might get 1,000 followers, whatever. They go from literally hundreds of followers, maybe thousands, to a million. They all get millions, and it's crazy, and it's like a completely different life. And I think that's why it's like, so there's such a mental health focus on Love Island now. But I've never seen the mental health focus on any other show.
Okay. I feel like after this, because it was so intense, there might be some shit. I'm gonna actually take a look for it now that like it's up to date. Like, it's kind of wild. Okay, it's very interesting. It's an interesting conversation. It's probably going to, the more reality TV that comes out, and it seems like it's cheaper and easier for, studios and production companies to make it. We're going to see more and more of it. So this will probably be becoming, because obviously, you look at the way the world is, everything's going to be more hectic every time. They're always like, how can we push the fucking boundaries and do this, blah, blah, blah. I reckon they might end up pushing it too far. So they're probably going to have to, I think something bad, my prediction is, unfortunately, I think the way that they're doing it, because money trumps everything, something bad will happen, and then they'll do something about it. Whatever that bad
that's
thing
always
is.
the case. That's
like someone will be attacked or whatever. Hopefully it's like nothing crazy. But yeah, it is always the case, and they won't stop it beforehand because they're probably cleaning up too much, which is fucking wild.
Exactly.
So that shit's fucked up. So onto some
reality TV.
Right? I know. God damn it. So onto some more lighter-hearted things. So before we take this bitch on home. Burna Boy sold out a big arena in London. Did you guys see that? It's all trending.
I saw he brought out J Hus. That's all I saw.
Okay. What'd you say, Nosh?
But
O2 Arena?
Yeah, I didn't actually say. I saw someone say the London Arena, and I was pretty sure that's just the O2, is it not?
It's
the It's not. It's the London Stadium. It's the Olympic Stadium.
The Olympic Stadium. Oh, it's different. I'm just trying to find the thing. It was trending on Twitter. Okay, maybe it's not anymore then. But basically, yeah, looked pretty cool. Everyone's like singing along and shit. So it's like pretty sweet that he's doing great. His music's fantastic. So that's one example of a big artist on a level like that actually is doing, I think, objectively great music.
100%.
Fucking dope as fuck.
He's so good.
Really, really love it. So good for him. That makes me happy. Now, onto some of the kind of, quick time with slime-esque content. There's shout out the Twitter handle. So this an account called Beat Rhyme Lists on Twitter that just keeps, on the new version of Twitter, everything's weird. You've got the the For You and then following, and it prioritizes the For You feed.
So weird, yeah.
So weird. But I thought I was already following this company here. So they basically do a whole bunch of like comparison, like in a tweet. They'll be like, who had they go song battle, and they'll have two different albums, and they'll have all the different tweet threads, and they'll have a poll, and people just vote for they'll put two songs side by side from the album. And now there's a whole bunch where they're like, the one that we're going to go through just some of the stuff because there's got some interesting convo. Mm-hmm. So an overarching question, and this comes back, I know before we talk about the GOAT, so it's kind of along that lines, like who or what is the best debut rap album in any era? The ones that they had here, they actually just had like side by side. And I'll mention a bunch of the ones. They had like this one here I'm seeing 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying versus DMX Dark and Hell is Hot. They have, I think it was Cuban Links Raekwon versus the infamous from Mobb Deep, which technically isn't their debut, but anyway. Like Illmatic versus Reasonable Doubt, The Chronic versus Doggy Style. But I was just even thinking overall, I think is a more interesting question rather than going one for the other. Do you guys have any thoughts on the best debut album in the hip hop genre or rap genre?
There are so many sick ones, but for me, just because of a personal preference, it's always The College Dropout. I don't see how anything can be better. Like there are some amazing ones. When I look at this list here, like Straight Out of Compton, the Slim Shady LP, Enter the Wu-Tang, the Chronic, all of these are unreal, but it's like for me personally, because when I think about the song, it brings back memories of certain things, and it's still objectively an amazing album. But like that would be the easiest answer, like the College Dropout.
Fuck, you're right. You're right. I just think you're right. I don't even have any pushback on any of that. Like that's because there's so many good ones. All the ones I mentioned are like ones that had a massive impact, but I don't know. College Dropout changed my, but the other ones did too. Fuck it. These conversations are fun, but it's so tough.
It sucks.
And I feel like with this one, out of all the ones in this list, I probably grew up around it way more than the others.
Right, and it impacted you in a longer term.
Yeah.
See, okay, I like that, and I think it's a simpler answer for you. I think the only extra part for Notion I is that of the rapping side, like us rapping, like Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, all of those ones. You know, Mobb Deep are huge for us. Like Wu, you know, Snoop and Dre would really like kicked it off for us. So I don't know if I could like. They all impacted in a different way, and I feel like they were all like a part of this sort of journey. And you know how some people like, I feel like the music we make today is much more influenced by College Dropout than the other stuff, arguably. Is that a fair take? No, and that's wherein therein lies my confusion on making a complete call, because I'm like, well, Nas showed us, you know, the real boom bap bars, like he was the pinnacle of storytelling, all of that shit. Like Mobb Deep are doing like the kind of street crime shit, but on this New York thing, but in like a real clever way. Once again, more storytelling. Reasonable Doubt was this more luxurious gangster lifestyle type of thing that was just like this effortless thing, like incredible, you know, really unique beats, maybe more mainstreamish beats or something like that. Whereas the other stuff was a bit grimier. Cuban Links was just New York mid-90s, like perfection. Was Soul Sample, where RZA was like pioneering that shit. Like Ice Cream is going to be one of the greatest beats of all time. Like it's disgusting. And the way that they're bringing all the whole crew in by still making solo albums, it was just such a big deal. They had this crew, and then they all went and got solo deals with different labels, and they're just dropping shit. You know, obviously Doggy Style got us into hip hop in '93 in like a deeper way. Then we went back to the Chronic, and we're like, wow, like those things, like you know, the epitome of West Coast rap at the time, and really where it could have been, and taking it maybe to a more mainstream level. So like they've all, you know what I'm saying? There's arguments for everything. That's the hard part. Did you have a flat answer,
question,
Nosh? You didn't have an answer then, Nosh? Or is it kind of...
Yeah, I do.
Oh, talk to me.
Yeah. I would say that the equal first albums for me, there'll be two of them.
Okay.
It's Doggy Style and College Dropout, equal first.
Fair.
The reason why I say Doggy Style because it came first, and I grew on it so much, and it was the soundtrack to like so much. And then College Dropout was the step as like, you know, Notion the artist took to dissecting soul samples, digging for records, like letting out him make beats so sick, perfecting that snare, EQing shit, being a fucking nerd, hanging out with fucking, you know, all my dogs, and like just going through it. So yeah, like I think, and then the Cuban Links was the secondary mention, like honorable mention to that little top spot, I guess, because it was lyrically handsome and the beats were disgusting. RZA changed the soundscape of a lot of stuff, and again, like kept my fucking ear interested with like digging for like, you know, international records and Japanese stuff, and like, you know, going under the world section of like record stores or, you know, digital libraries and stuff like that. Like, so yeah. Those ones are like really fucking fair. Like hit home.
It's a real tough one. I think maybe then actually the kind of more fun questions version of that, because that's probably the larger one, is actually the side by side ones that he put, or he or she. I actually don't know who runs this account. Like for example, then what would you guys say on a quick time with slime thing? I'm just going to go a few and throw it at us so we can all just say, Get Rich or Die Trying, or It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
You could even say which one you like more as well, even as opposed, because the question he's asking, what's the stronger debut, but because as objective, like I like It's Dark and Hell is Hot significantly more than Get Rich
I
or
do
Die
also, yeah, that's good. That's
but
good.
Technically,
well then,
the better debut. But then, is it a better debut? I don't know. Fuck it. Just say however you feel. I think that's the easiest way to go about it. Okay, which other one do we have here? Big Pun, Capital Punishment versus Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous.
I've only listened to Capital Punishment, so
okay.
Yeah, Big Pun wins because of production alone.
Yeah,
I think
I agree too. And I feel like it was more like progressive, whereas Big L.
And lyrically, they're so handsome. Like, who are you gonna fucking pick out of those two cunts? Like, what?
Yeah,
they're both ridiculous. Like, they're fucked. So yeah, I think Capital Punishment has the better like what is it called? Unskippable album quality.
Yes, and like you said, I
More
think
of
the
a classic.
production, because Big L shit, if I'm not mistaken, was from '95, and Capital Punishment was '98.
98.
And it was it sounds completely different. Like Big L shit sounds like
Of course,
dated and
because in those few years, as far as the studios that motherfuckers had access to at that particular level, even though it wasn't like full sick cunt, the sound quality just jumped leaps and bounds. So it was definitely a test to that because technology got better in such a short span. During that time, I think we went from CD to DVD to Blu-ray, and then all the fucking computers got faster, quicker, and
there's a
Pro
lot.
Tools got sicker. It makes a lot of
So
sense.
many impacts. Yeah,
The more I
good
think
point.
about it, the
Sick.
more that makes a lot of sense.
Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor versus Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon.
Lupe.
I've never listened to either of them.
Okay, I think you'd like Lupe more because I think it's superior for sure.
I think
Kid
Lupe
Cudi's
is a
pretty
sick
cool.
rapper. I've listened to a
It's
lot of his
definitely worth
shit.
a listen, but it's just not better than Lupe's.
I don't think it's even a fair comparison. Lupe is a lyrical rapper, and Kid Cudi's
It's
kind
not
of
totally
like
fair either, but
harmonizing. I wouldn't even call him a rapper.
He's
Goody
a-
Mob, Soul Food,
yeah.
or Outkast, Southern Playlistic, Cadillac Music.
Outcast.
I'm out.
Okay, Outkast for sure.
You're Outcast.
Oh, I like that. Oh, this is
Ooh.
an interesting one. I don't know if Dan you'd be able to contribute to this, but Black Moon, Enter the Stage, or Smith and Wesson, To Shine In.
Oh my god,
I also think it's not a fair comparison. They're just from the same crew.
it's pretty hard. Yeah,
I would go Smith and Wesson because there's more joints that hit harder for me on that one.
because the beats were dirtier and I think they might
Superior.
They make me want to I want to wear Tims and hoodies and jump on cunts and punch people a little sooner.
Yeah, and also it was like
comes to-
93
Black Moon
versus
was smooth,
96.
wasn't it?
Black Moon, pardon?
Black Moon was smooth, right?
No, I wouldn't call the music smooth. It's like the Lifestyles of Poor and Dangerous, really just raw beats. Whereas like the Smith and Wesson was a little more deeper production. Whereas like the 93, a lot of it, the New York stuff was kind of just like drums and some little sounds and shit, like very simplistic in comparison. Yeah, but they were like pioneers. This is an interesting one too. Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly versus Busta Rhymes, The Coming.
Ooh. See, so what was the question for those two? Which one's the superior
The actual
album?
question, what he says every time is, what's the stronger rap debut album? But I think that you can say whichever you prefer. I think that's a better question.
I've only listened to the coming out of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my
Difficult
answer.
one.
Yeah, mine too.
What'd you say?
The Coming. Both of us said that.
Sweet. Yeah, because
We're both
I
coming.
mean, pause.
Hard.
We're both
I
coming.
think, yeah. Happy Pride Month, by the way.
Well, that's the clip.
Oh my god.
Come on now.
Oh wow.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe
Anyway,
not.
so I think
Yeah, the episode.
overall, like Missy, fuck. I mean, I'd prefer The Coming Pause because it's a better album overall. It just has more bangers, and I like the bars that Buster had at that time. But Missy, wasn't that like the?
it had
They
like
didn't really
I Can't
track
Stand the
list in
Rain
front of me.
joint.
I can't. Yeah, that was pretty funky. So she's a trendsetter as fuck. So I
Yeah.
think like that
That's a great
arguably
album.
could be the stronger one because it was commercially stronger. And it had more of the, I don't know, she was a little more quirky with the videos and the marketing was a little more reachable and a little less swearing. And the Buster stuff was really dark, lyrically handsome and shit, but like it was just darker. It wasn't as
Yeah.
marketable. So maybe a Missy one might have been stronger because it was more marketable. Is that
That's
cool?
fair. Of course, you don't have to. We're not judging. Let's
But
do.
I love Buster's album. Anyway, move on.
Okay, these next ones, let's just say the answer, no explanation to make it move smoother. This is probably something a bit more for Dan here. ASAP Rocky, Long Live ASAP versus Travis Scott, Rodeo.
Ooh. Rodeo.
No?
ASAP.
Yeah, Rocky for sure. The Chronic or Doggy Style?
Doggy style.
Doggy.
Doggy Style.
Pause.
Ready to
Not
Die
pause.
versus Reasonable
Should be in.
Doubt
What's
Reasonable
Ready to Die
Doubt.
again? Who's that by?
is Biggie.
Oh, and Reasonable Doubt is by who?
Jay-Z.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're right.
you just
Sorry.
It's okay.
boxing.
Reasonable Doubt.
It's
I
okay.
had to look at the album cover. I
Don't
had to look at the
sweat it.
album
Don't
cover,
sweat it. We
sorry.
ain't judging.
Hop on the head top thing.
I'll leave. I'll leave.
You leave?
Kind of see yourself out there.
Nosh?
Sorry.
And anyone have... Dan is bailing out of this one.
I said
you
reasonable doubt.
Oh, you said it.
there
I'm
go.
sorry. Yeah, Reasonable Doubt for sure. This is interesting. I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but Black on Both Sides versus Blue in Exile Below the Heavens.
I've only listened to Black and Both Sides.
Oh, you should listen to Below the Heavens.
Oh my god.
I don't. It's like 10 years apart.
Below the
I don't-
heavens.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I didn't. I listened to that more.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to add an absolute hair's difference. Below the
Okay.
heavens.
I got two.
I think
more
because
for
I could
us.
listen to it I listen to it
Yeah.
more than most. But
With
like
that
I
one.
don't know, that is iconic because it has like too many joints on it. Like, you know,
Yeah. No, we're
some-
supposed to go
some,
quick
like,
on this one. You're right.
do it. Go.
You're right. It's only because we're at time and we've still got a couple more things. Straight Outta Compton versus Enter the Wu-Tang.
Into the Wu-Tang.
That's hard. Straight off Compton.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Wu-Tang. And lastly, Cuban Links versus Illmatic.
Fuck. Probably
Cuban Links.
Cuban Links, yeah.
I'm gonna say Illmatic just to switch
Just
it
to
up.
switch it.
Just to fuck around. So, okay, that was fun. Now, we've got a few other questions. We could actually just leave them for the next episode, maybe. Because we're going to talk about disappointing rap albums, how we feel about reboots of movies and stuff, the year's best album so far. So maybe we keep that to next week.
Questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we can do that.
I feel like
Good
because we're keeping it around time, and I feel like that those would be lengthier convos, and I like these. I like these ones. These little like quick time sort of ones. These are fun.
This is good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, fucking great shit. It is actually, Daniel. It's fucking great shit, mate.
Great
I agree.
shit.
I agree.
Fucking
So-
kid.
With that said, guys, this has been episode 125.
There
Daniel,
it is.
I'm just
Beautiful.
adding it here. Where can everyone find you online, you big cunt?
HTFGXMANG Instagram. I just uploaded actually, so go check that out. I uploaded and
Slap a
edited
like.
my first video in a long time. Well, I
Gang.
upload, but I just don't really edit. So just go check that shit. Motion.
Okay.
Man's like me, I'm out here at Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. At Notion MTB on Instagram and YouTube. Give me a motherfucking how you going. At illnetstudios.com. Wow, all of it.
All of it.
Fuck, what else do I do? Heaps of shit. See Feezy?
Thumbnail, first of all.
Yeah.
See the thumbnail, then I'm going to tell you all about it. Hang on, what if I go over here? I'm using the wrong hand. Okay, ready? Go this way. You can grab me at CWFOR on Instagram and Twitter, CWTMF on Facebook, and fucking, what's the other shit one? TikTok. And you can find me on the Confirmed app, just copping Yeezys. And guys, if you enjoyed the episode, mate, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell.
Ding dong.
So you know when all the new episodes drop. Follow us everywhere at The Movement Fam, and of course at Bad Habits Pod on Instagram. We drop every Monday. We're going to drop the audio in the morning, video in the evening for, fucking pleasing everybody here. Shout outs to everybody in, what was the country? Was it Angola? I think was the last country that was our we were charting in. So shouts
What
to
up,
y'all,
Wow.
you fucking legends.
Incredible.
We'll see you fucking champions in the next episode. Get a dog up here. Woof.
Woof.
Water. Oh. Get a dog. Yeah, tell them, look at that. Link up, guys. Link up. Linkuphere.org. Let's go.
Beautiful.
Catch up, cons.
Catch